Welcome everybody and welcome to All in All United. Riding solo for the time being. Nico's supposed to jump in a bit. And to be the only one here to start this review, it's gonna make it additionally difficult, because the result today wasn't close. Wasn't anything close to what I was expecting, we obviously would have hoped for a win, but in the manner that we lost today, it was very, very disappointing. And I had to ask myself, what really going on? Why it is we always seem to fall or falter at this juncture? Why we can't get past, why we can't seem to get past the semi-final hurdle? Is it a mental thing? Somebody has some kind of voodoo dolly on we, or where's really that one? It's really difficult, when you consider the momentum that the team had going into this fixture, City would have been without a lot of important key players with COVID and injuries. The only player that we didn't have was I think Cavani. But going into this, I don't understand. If I had to be quite frank, the way the game started, I thought we gave Manchester City a little too much respect. We played within ourselves for that. When we saw the last couple of games, when we played, we came out at teams. We were pressing them high, and for some reason or the other, I don't know if it's the nerves. I don't know if it's. And I see Joel saying, "Obia, I don't know why. I don't know, Dread. What's going on? This is the 4th time we reach a semi-final and we can't win." My goodness, hey, welcome Davian, welcome Joel, thanks for joining, buddies. Hey Gregory, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. He's saying, bro, I'll be honest, it sucks, but it is one competition I'm even worried about. It's not only that, it's for me, getting a trophy, fellas, especially when you reach this far, you reach a semi-finals. You don't reach a semi-finals to loss us, and I might think. Gregory also saying, but it does raise questions. Why the team seems to go into a shell? Exactly. We did not play like the Manchester United as we've been seeing with recent games. The team, I don't know, but you see, it seems to me that when Bruno Fernandes doesn't have a good game, the entire team seems to fall apart because, watch me, Bruno Fernandes had a howler tonight earlier. Some of the passing decisions that he made, he rushed it. He was shooting from all over the place. And those are the signs of a frustrated player. So today, I don't want to single out Bruno Fernandes because I don't think anybody really stood out today. Right? But the fact of the matter is that as a team, we can't seem to get past a semi-final. And I think I prefer, I'll be honest with you, I prefer getting knocked out earlier and forget about that, than reach so far and just not show up. Oh God, man. Davian said because Ole is not the manager to take the squad or the club to the next level. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. I hear in here, Davian. I hear in here. But this is the same group of players that would have gone out and played some beautiful football, scintillating in the last couple of games. Right? It's player decisions today, because I saw, some passing decisions where you could have gone right there, you force it long, Rashford not timing his runs properly. I can't blame Oli for that. What Oli tell them, Davian, go there and don't play properly? At the end of the day, the fellas had to go to the field and execute, and we was praising the same players. We can't praise them, the players when we winning, and then when we losing, we criticizing the manager. We had to balance it out, fellas. Joel saying, time to focus on Europa League, FA Cup, and winning the title. And then, Joel, in all fairness, based on the trends I see, and then we go reach the FA Cup semi-finals, and we go bottle it. We go reach the Europa League semi-finals, and we go bottle it. So I know it's easy to say, well, let me brush it off and let me move on and have other cups to focus on. And I'm saying no. But then when you consider it, sometimes something had to we had to find out what really going on if we can't get past the semi-final hurdle. And I think today, when you look at the game, I mean, let me start with the team sheet earlier. I personally didn't have any issue with the team sheet, right? As far as I was concerned, I understood why Bailly wasn't in the starting lineup. Ollie explained it very, very well in his pre-match. You could understand as well why Dean Henderson would have gotten the nod. Apart from that, we know why Cavani not there. So the team was very, very much similar, but 2 changes from the team that played so well against Aston Villa. So then what was the reason for not showing up? Anyway, let me get some comments and I'll go bring in Nico in. Nico, you there?
Yeah, man, I'm inside. Finally.
Nice. So let me just get some comments there. Gregory saying, hindsight, we still have a game to take us top of the league. Yeah, well, I guess that's the positive, but we want to talking about today, Gregory, this is one game where Donny van de Beek should have played honestly. Also saying Maguire and Shaw for our first goal. Why set pieces always doing with that, 4 fellas? Why set pieces always doing with that? Gregory saying, oh gosh, Nico Reach. Look out for the anti-master. Watch me, Gregory. He can't start because not even Rashford look good.
Nobody look good.
Davion saying yes, and he's doing okay with the squad, but that's all just doing okay isn't enough for me, especially when the squad is capable of better. I hear you. Nico, thoughts on the game, buddy?
Yeah, again, to me the lineup wasn't bad, I guess for me not seeing Bailly in the lineup, I think is a good sign. I think it's a good sign that maybe Bailly coming into the team, playing the amount of games he played on the bunks, maybe Ollie is seeing him as his first choice, maybe for the league, and gave Lindelof that game today. I took that away from the team selection. Otherwise, I think there wasn't any surprises. However, for some reason, he doesn't show up for these type of games. He doesn't have the energy to match or surpass the opposition. Even when we go a goal down, he doesn't see that fight back. He doesn't see like what we normally see, especially that you could remember under Fergie, that the moment you score against United, you come you tweak the lion tail. And you're expecting a response. I think for some reason you didn't see that. For some reason, Man City was in cruise control almost for the entire game. And overall, though, I think the better team won. Disappointing in terms of how we really approach the game. It was too one-dimensional. As I can't remember exactly who said it. But I think this was a game maybe Van der Beek could have came in to add something different because it was so easy to play us. We were so what is what I'm looking for? Predictable. It was so predictable going forward. It was so easy to know that as Bruno get the ball, looking for Rashford running, Marshall, and it was real easy to play us off the park because of predictability. And I think Van der Beek may have come in and this change that I mentioned, have Man City thinking about something different now that we didn't have on the pitch for that length of time.
If I honest with you, Nico, I don't even think Van der Beek would have make much of a difference, simply because I think the mentality going into the game was wrong. I had mentioned to you when we were talking during the game, we now winning no 50-50 the second balls, we're not even winning the second balls. And I'm looking at how we're making. You mentioned it, you said it well. Man City didn't even come out of first gear.
Yeah.
I'm saying they played a whole game on cruise control, and they were winning second balls. They were winning 50-50s. They were winning all the duels. We were not winning anything. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I think the whatever mindset we had going into that game is what we saw play out. You understand what I'm saying? So to say we should have put probably Van der Beek can start this one or take out this one instead of that one. I don't even know if that might have made a difference because every player on the field, Nico, did not show up.
Yeah. I was just seeing it from the aspect of trying something different now. because we was doing the same thing over and over and over for 70 plus minutes. So and let's try something different, because you was see that we was just going, and that was our one track. Everything was the same thing over and over and over, and just to try something different now. That's why I saw it. That why, at least, because if you're going down, at least you want to try something different. And I saw him maybe coming in, adding a different dimension. It may not have worked, but to me, it would have shown me that Oli is at least trying something different. Yeah.
Gregory's saying here, my only issue with this is Oli with the late substitutions again. You could have seen too at some point he seemed lost in terms of what he could have done now. And no one of the options he would have long thought it would have been that Cavani option. There's something different in the box, and he didn't have any player like that on the bench. He didn't even have a guy on the bench, so he had to pick it out with who he had now.
And I think also from how it was looking to me, it was looking like he was waiting for Man City to throw the first punch now in terms of making a sub. But remember, Man City have a lot of players out, so Pep playing with what you have. We had a, and to me, I think he could have tried something different. And even if he wanted to try something different, at least try it from earlier now. Let get better then, because you're making us up 75 minutes, going down, chasing a game. To me, it was too late, because the length of time the players would have taken to settle into the game. The game would have been almost over. So I agree with Bruce again in terms of the timing of the substitutions. Too late.
But let me look to get into the goals that we conceded, because I suspect that Oli would have been comfortable, and I can't remember when did the first goal score? Do you remember the minute around what time the first goal score?
I think that was the 50-something.
The 50-something minute, because I mean, even though looking at the first half, even though City looked the more comfortable team in possession, looked the more comfortable team in terms of intent, we were still in the game. And in a cup final, like in a cup knockout game like this, you could have all the impetus you want, you could have all the possession you want, and you can still lose the game. So sometimes it's a kind of sucker punch, you could hit a team. So I felt that up to the point when we conceded, even though the momentum was on City side and the domination was coming from the City side, you would have still fancied your players to carve something open, because it's something that we know our players capable of doing. You have Bruno, you have Rashford, Pogba, Martial. Them fellas could make something out of nothing. So at the point in time when we were still deadlocked at 0-0, even though City had possession, even though City was doing everything, you would have still fancy us to carve out open and create and make something happen.
Yeah.
My thing, right, is how we conceding soft goals again, Nico. Set pieces, defenders who supposed to be able to defend, sleeping. How on earth, Nico? I watch him from when we stood up when we set up defensively for that free kick. Shaw had Stones in front of him.
Right.
That was Shaw mark, Nico. So Shaw need to know, well, hey, if there's my mark, then I have to make sure I am in control of the situation. You stop and allow John Stones to run through by. Them is the kind of things I just can't understand.
Again, and I want to say we for some reason we don't have a big game mentality now. Simple as if you looked at Fernandinho today, right? The first opportunity to get a kick, Bruno kick him. Right? He didn't go for the ball. He know the ball went. But they know how to intimidate, and they have the big game mentality that, hey, there's a big game, and I know I enter a big game, and I will do anything to win this game. So in terms of Shaw, hey, I defend in a set piece, I want to win this game, I will do anything to win this game. Let me make sure that John Stones don't get ahead of me. Let me do whatever it is I have to do to prevent John Stones from getting ahead of him. Because if you even looked at some of the free kicks or even the chances we got in the area, Man City players was doing everything to make it difficult for us, because they have the mentality and the mindset that, hey, I want to win this game. They have that mindset now, and that mentality, as you have also said, we do have that mentality that, hey, I am going to win this, in spite of what I am getting there first, right? Because Man City was doing it for most of the free kicks, right? Where Maguire would have had a chance, but because the defenders stuck to their task, right? He didn't get clear headers, or he didn't get headers on goal, or he was always impeded from making clean contact onto the ball, and that is the thing that we doesn't get. We don't have that fight within us to really want to win, and I think that's the hurdle that we had to cross if we really had to sort of win big games.
Hey Simeon, welcome man. Thanks for joining. Oh gosh, what I miss, boy. Yeah, if you see the game, you miss nothing. Kenton, welcome man. Thanks for joining. He said that middle needed one, or either Van der Beek or Matic. You know, I was telling Nico, I remember I was telling that because Matic in possession, he a little more calm and he's a better organizer. You know, and against a team, when you know you wouldn't have the ball much. When you do have it, you have to make proper use of it now. You know?
Man City was walking through our midfield for the entire first half, especially.
Exactly. And you put Fred and McTominay there to avoid them from doing that, and them fellas was still walking through the midfield as though them fellas wasn't there.
Yeah.
Kenton also saying Van der Beek, sorry, he's saying Matic to hold the ball and free up space for the other players, and Matic just do that so very good. I don't think the game had the pace that would not have suited Matic, if you understand what I'm saying. Matic would have fallen here perfectly.
Because Fernandinho had a masterclass.
He's also saying Van der Beek, the position, to keep position and move the ball faster. Possession, I mean.
Yeah.
All right. Simeon saying Bailly wasn't there to straighten them out.
He might have a very good game, eh? This game might have good penalties if Bailly was, I just saying possibly, but
I don't think Lindelof or Maguire really played badly, in terms of defensively. The two goals that we considered were from set pieces, and we drop asleep.
True.
So,
right.
So I mean, I'm not seeing where if Bailly was playing, it would have been a bit different. You know.
True. You're right.
Simeon also saying, so I guess the board going and buy players now. Watch my mentality. If they could buy the players with mentality, because even today, Nico, as I was saying, I think before you join on, I don't know what's going on with Bruno, but today, Bruno, you were seeing Bruno was getting frustrated visibly.
I think better teams, they would see that, because the better teams have better players who could man mark, and who at least could, when the transition, even out of transition, they could pick up a mark, and they know where the threats are on the other team, and they know how to isolate them. And against smaller teams, he will find his way. But against the bigger teams who know that, hey, if we nullify Bruno, then have a high possibility to win this game, then he would find it difficult, and he would struggle, and then you would see him trying shots from all over the field that, that's be a waste, and you see when his mentality start to free, you see when he started to make some decisions that you really question, because for the entire game he would have been man-marked, he would have been tackled, he would have been roughed up during the game. So sometimes when he get the ball, he just playing out anger or vexation or just whatever. You just see that. So I guess what could help that is also other players in the team stepping up and maybe taking up that mantle when he's struggling.
But Nicole, strange enough that you say that, because I mean we clamoring for quite some time, for Bruno Fernandes to be, the club captain because of leadership qualities. Now, if you say it's true, then this is definitely not a quality that you would want from the player who lead in your team, because I mean, you can't let people get into your head so easily where throw in caution to the wind with your responsibility, which is very, very key to the team in terms of creating for us. Because I mean, it had so many opportunities today. If Bruno was a little more composed and sensible with his decisions, it might have opened up. Because I remember one clearly, and this was the one that almost made me trip off. Pogba shield off Cancelo, played to Martial. Martial cut it inside for Bruno. And all Bruno had to do was take his time and play it through for Rashford, who was waiting, and he tried one time outside kick. And it went straight into the foot of the defender.
Yeah.
You know, you remember, these are the decisions. He's talking about big game players. These are the decisions that we want you to make in these big games that will give us the kind of results that we want. We don't want you to be making 12 and 13 long passes against Aston Villa and Stoke. Yeah, we want it. But what I'm saying is it will matter more in games like these, because we had a transfer trophy.
Yeah, I think also Reams is Bruno new to the league. Well, I'm making an excuse for Bruno.
You're making excuses, man.
No, but still, no, it happens where you all want that player quality to shine through, right? But Bruno new to the league, knowing that Man City is maybe one of the top teams in the league, sometimes players just try too hard now. Because you know you're up against the best team, you want to show yourself that much that sometimes you just try too hard and things doesn't come off. I'm hoping it's a case like that, and with time, we our entire team develop and we grow that confidence to see that here what Man City or Liverpool, you know what I mean? You all beat us, you know? We're not coming to beat us because we know we are the better team. We know we are the bigger team. I don't think we at that point right now. So I think confidence within the entire team, you see it. You see like the whole team playing in fear. Like they are afraid of Man City. They're afraid of Man City players. They're afraid to oppose Man City players. And I think that is what had to change now. I think that is what had to change and for because we know the players have the quality. But it's just for them to believe that they could beat Man City, to believe that they could win big games. And I don't think they had a belief that they could really win big games.
You know, and it's true what you're saying, because I mean, I don't know if you would have noticed it. I don't know if you all in the comments would have noticed it as well. But it happened, I think, 2 or 3 times today, where players had a better passing option, but they tried to force it through to Bruno.
Yeah.
Because, well, Bruno is what? He's the orchestrator. He's the only one that could do something good on the ball. Right. You know, it's like you don't have confidence in themselves anymore now.
Exactly.
You know? Let me get some comments here. Kenton said if Bailly was there, they wouldn't have had as many balls over the top as they did. I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Kenton, but I don't know. Because I thought Lindelof and Maguire, from a defensive sense, hold them proper. And if we were better on the set plays, then who knows where this game could have go? City could have dominated the whole game, and we could have come and win it with one opportunity, or even on penalties. You know. He also saying, do they train Maguire or drill him on how to defend low crosses?
Low crosses alone.
But Nico, before I continue, here is my thing now. Why it is, and I know you probably had touched on it earlier, but why it is, for the life of me, Maguire could never win a header in the opponent's box. At least put on target sometimes, not at least now, boy. Jeez.
Boy, I just struggle. I was hoping, because he would have had a whole full season last season with United. You know, sometimes it takes you a while to really settle into a new team and settle into your role as a leader and all that. So I was hoping that this season Maguire would have find his own in front of goal, especially in the attacking sense. But to me, like, he has gotten worse. You know, for some reason he just don't know how. He does not, as I was saying again. To me, it just feels like the players just don't believe in themselves. You know, because I tell you, the amount of chances he used to get to score for Leicester. You know, the kind of chances he doesn't even get for us. If he was playing for Leicester, he would have taken those chances, because maybe the pressure wasn't as much at Leicester, that, you know what I mean, you're going into these things confident or comfortable that even if you miss, there's no pressure on you. So, you know, you're going into it natural, but again with United now, like for some reason everything is so much more pressure that even when you're going for a set play, you don't see your name up in the lights. You know, Harry Maguire had scored the winning goal for Manchester United, so maybe all that pressure on you. You know that you're just not, producing the goods now. Because the kind of chance I see Maguire again, I find he should be hitting the target at
Yeah,
least.
at least, man.
At least be hitting the target, challenging the goalkeepers, have balls clearing off the line, have defenders scampering. But for some reason, every time you see like he rushing the header, the timing off. And again, it's because to me, it's the pressure of delivering more than trying to deliver. I think he's not managing the pressure to deliver good. I don't think he's managing that good enough. I think the moment he started to manage that pressure where where it's not affecting you if you miss one, nothing affecting you, you're just trying to do your best. I think the moment that started to happen, then I think he'll be more successful until he started to manage the pressure of seeing his name up in the lights for Manchester United. I think he will continue to flounder in front of goal.
I'll get some comments here. Hey, Sinatra, welcome, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying, poor game. Hope this does not affect us mentally going into the upcoming games. Watch, man, definitely. I really, really hope so. Because, sometimes a good result, they start a good run. And sometimes, one loss could send you into a downward spiral. So Sinatra, I really hope so. I really hope it does not.
Yeah. I know we are Watford. So hopefully, we get over the Watford hurdle, score some goals. I think that would always be good. Would also do good for the confidence before the Premier League games start back. And then we are Burnley, which is no easy feat. But it as long as we want a challenge for the title, it should be a game we should win.
Yeah.
So I win, and then Liverpool. Well, it's easy to be fired up for Liverpool, and the Liverpool game, anything could happen.
Yeah. Simeon saying, so we're not good enough and we walk away. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
For sure not.
So that's just a good point, Raymond, making right decisions on the field in the right time. That's what makes the difference and separates the big players from the ordinary. And today, we were very ordinary. A lot of our decisions were the wrong ones.
Yeah.
I think in crucial parts of the games, we made some very, very bad decisions. And I mean, we had Nicole. We keep talking about confidence in themselves. Them fellas went in today. We went in today, Nico, with the better momentum, with more players. City had a bare 11.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Kyle Walker, who just came back from COVID. They had Aguero on the bench, who struggled with injury for the past couple months. So we had enough to go in there and impose ourselves, and we gave the impetus and we gave the onus to City. Simeon said, so everyone saw the belief Bailly brought to the team and decided, what, we don't need that this game. Never saw Maguire have that effect. But I don't know, you want to comment on that, Nico?
No, I understand, because it is, for some reason, Bailly has that mentality. Another player who to me really have that mentality from what I have seen is Cavani. I think Cavani have that mentality and that belief that, hey, I could do it. I could win this game, and you see the confidence within him. For the others, maybe, well, we know Cavani over time would have achieved success, a lot of success in his career. So maybe for him, this is just another game where, and he's always motivated. The moment is not too big for him, and I think that's the mentality you need more into the team. And I think bringing Cavani into the team to even spread that, I think today would have been an ideal game for Cavani. I think possibly he could have made a difference. Possibly he could have taken a star final, and let me say, even from there, I think that is when the other players would start to believe. Because sometimes you just need one or two players on your team to believe, for that belief to spread through your team. Because today that team looked intimidated and lacked confidence all over the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating for the fans who know what we're capable of to sit down and see a team, play so in the self now when we better than that. I saw some moments in the game where Pogba and all looked so shaky in possession.
Yeah. Even Pogba looked like he felt like he was playing against a superior team.
Yeah.
And these are the players who we expect to step up at these occasions, and these are the occasions where they're looking like below average players. Very disappointing.
But tell me something, Nico. You think that is something that would have been indirectly conveyed to the players by Oli? Or
of course not.
Is it that Oli tell them, hey, Oli, go out and let me replicate what happened against Aston Villa, and them fellas just went out and then they were just in awe, or just thinking about not losing this semi-final, that they just didn't perform?
I think majority are players, majority are teams in awe of the Man City team. And you're seeing with the amount of respect they play to Man City players, and again you saw it again today. You saw it again and again. For the life of me, I don't know how it is Wan-Bissaka again beaten the same way over and over and over, where that's overloading one side. It had times when Foden could have, a different day, things could have been different. But for some reason, we just look at Man City players. For some reason, it doesn't look like that against Liverpool, right? Maybe we feel that we're better than Liverpool, so we just play Liverpool, toe to toe. But against Man City, for some reason, I don't know if it's the aura of Pep Guardiola and what Pep Guardiola have achieved in his career. But for some reason, we seem intimidated going up against these players.
I think that's unacceptable, eh? I think
definitely.
If that's the case, Nico, then this whole talk of title race, we fooling ourselves, because better teams will intimidate us, and then we'll just be third or fourth or fifth.
Yeah, I think and that's what happened when the real pressure started. I think the real pressure haven't started as yet, but when the real pressure starts, because you saw it even with Liverpool, because it's had times when Liverpool was running away with games, and then when it come down to the crunch time, with all the quality they had, they were scraping a 1-0, and scraping a 2-1. And then they was getting some lucky results, towards the title. So, and look at the quality they have. So I think we would see how good we are when the real pressure starts. And I think though watch Man squad, the game against Chelsea with Man City, they finding a rhythm and they finding form. And City win 2-3 games on the bounce, they will be right up there also. And even that will provide the pressure against us. That will provide a mental pressure that, hey, City was the form team, was just the players of the park. We were second best to City, and that's that pressure that City right there and Liverpool there is if you know that we really have the quality to get that number 21.
And that interesting enough, that is the kind of coping with that kind of pressure is what will make champions, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm really not sure, because when you look at the team, even when you look at the team today, you're questioning our mentality.
Yeah.
So that kind of pressure in the league, the likes of City and the likes of Liverpool and whoever pressing on 1 point behind us, and if we drop a point, we'll be behind, and it can deal with us psychologically.
Exactly.
If we're ready to handle that kind of pressure, boy, I know all you ever had. Wow.
Yeah.
Because this team, they'll frustrate the living daylights out of you, yes?
Yeah.
So, what, Nico? And we've been talking about, how we concede set pieces. And I don't know if we are the only club that probably concede the most set pieces in the history of football. Right? I'm not being a little extreme, but I still feel that way. what do you think has to happen? Is it a player thing? Is it a personnel thing? Or is it a coaching thing? Because I try to understand. I don't want to believe, Nico, that Oli not working on set pieces or how we defend and set up for set pieces. But then again, then as a professional footballer, so we're supposed to be able to handle set pieces. So then where the issue is?
I know Callan was always talk about it in terms of the man marking or the zonal marking. And for some reason the zonal, and it have been so for a while. You know, I would say it has improved a little bit, but it still proves to be our Achilles heel. I don't know if the man marking might make a difference. But for some reason we not really get a grasp of it, and we continue to struggle from set pieces. To be honest, I don't know what could help. I don't know what could work. I don't even change that. And as you wanna say, how much players are gonna change? You know, and it's the same thing over and over. So I don't know. I don't know if it's let me say Maguire not commanding, being that command, if it's De Gea not commanding defense, but De Gea didn't even play today, so we can't even say that. You know, so it's a real struggle to pinpoint what is the real issue with defending set pieces. I honestly I can't see.
But I wondering to some extent whether, all right, so let's say I suppose it will have a methodology if you want to go with the zonal marking, right?
Right.
And if you're doing man marking, then that's have its pros as well. It has systems built in.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, I tend to feel, Nico, that our defenders have lapses in concentration, and I don't know, because all right, look simple. The first goal we conceded in Nico. I talked about it earlier. John Stones is your man, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
I understand you're trying to hold the outside line. I understand you're trying to hold the defensive line. But when you realize he bursted in front of you, that is your responsibility. So you can't hold Maguire clear the ball. Because if Maguire missed the ball, then you are the second line of defense. So you have to clean it up. So you can't hold, okay, Maguire is the first line, he go clean it. If it passed Maguire, then your marker going to get free on a goal. And that's what happened today. So Luke Shaw now was supposed to be the one to keep on goal side of John Stone. So in the event anything past Maguire, was going to get it. So beyond zonal marking, man marking, and set plays, I feel as well it had to have some components where these individuals had to stay connected and stay focused and not lose concentration.
Again, I can't say it better. I guess it had to be concentration, but it's so regular now. It's so regular that I think even for Oli it will be frustrating, because I'm sure he'll be drilling the team on defending set pieces.
I believe that.
Yeah, and then to come in a game like today and concede 2 goals from a set play, really, you'll really be disappointing. I guess he'll be hitting his head on a wall trying to find out, well, what next? What else to do to prevent this from continually happening? Because if it is that we want to win a championship, but we continue to concede goals from set pieces, then, at some point we could get derailed.
And then too, you talk about teams like Watford and Burnley. These are teams that thrive on those kind of set plays. You know what I'm saying? So,
and as we would have seen Southampton, right? They are another team that thrives on set plays, and with 2 set plays was 2 goals against us.
Exactly.
So it's really something frustrating to deal with.
The second goal we considered, Nico, off another set play. One, and this is again concentration, Nico, and how slow we are to react.
Yeah.
How much times, we watching us play, and it have the opposing players camping on the outside of our box. And sometimes when we are allowing players to receive the ball and set for shots,
Yeah.
when we're supposed to be responding to carry, to press the line high out and to put pressure on the ball, we decided to sit back and wait and wait and wait and wait, and it's giving these guys a free run to shoot at the goalkeeper. And I don't understand that it happened against Aston Villa. You know, it happened today again, and I saw Fernandinho get the second goal that put him nail in the coffin. You know?
Yeah. Again, I don't know how much. I think also Luke Shaw clearance.
That
Right?
was scary.
When you think about Luke Shaw clearance, that was like you just give up. You know, like a clearance, like just kick it and whatever happen. You know, I think that was first and foremost the disappointing part. You know, that clearance was horrible and that just cascaded down to to the goal. You know, so I think, as you say, players have to take more responsibility in the actions they take onto the field, because they can come back to bite you in an instant.
Yeah. So Nico, we out of the Carabao Cup. You know, that dream is over.
Right.
I don't know. I wish they could just cancel that tournament because I don't want Pep win and I don't want Mourinho win. So you know, but we're going on to the FA Cup on Saturday. Right now, I definitely think some players need rest because apart from the frustration, from the likes of Bruno and even Rashford today as well, you could see them fellas starting to run. They're starting to look run down.
Yeah.
You see it in some of the actions, even when they lose the ball to try to recover. You're not seeing that kind of energy now.
Yeah.
How you gonna approach that West Ham game?
Well, again, Watford is a team in the Championship. Manchester United, again, and we don't want to take teams for granted, right? Because we know what underdog teams does, especially against big teams. You know, they up for the fight. They highly motivated. They take a big scalp. But with the quality that we have, I think we could comfortably rest Bruno, play Van der Beek, rest Rashford, play Greenwood. Who else? Who else we have on the team that Tellez, maybe even well, I don't want to say Maguire, but maybe even Maguire could get a rest too. You know, you play Bailly and you play Lindelof, which we saw in the past worked. You know, even Tonzebe could play a right back and get one the Saka rest. You know, I could see things like that happening. Yeah, to me, I find it should happen because I guess, especially Rashford and Bruno, yeah, and even Maguire could get a rest because Maguire have been playing non-stop. So I think a back, they say the two centre back pairing of Bailly and Lindelof could be a decent pairing for the weekend against a championship team.
I mean, you're looking at Watford as a championship team, but remember they were playing in the Premiership for the past 4-5 years, right? So, and I know they get relegated, but just refer to them as a championship team. We have to be careful because what if we approach this game? I don't want to use the word casually because we're not going to approach it casually. But if we don't take stock to get eliminated from 2 tournaments in a week, not going to sit well, right? With across the board, and then consider the psychological hit the team will take going into this Premier League running. So we had to be real careful. I mean, I would have feel more comfortable going. I would have feel more comfortable going into a game against probably a Scunthorpe or a Millwall or a Dresden FC, and play Tai Chong and whoever. But I don't want us to take Watford for granted. We always say we have enough depth, man, and this one will come in and that one will come in. Let's look at the Istanbul game away. We brought in.
Yeah, but But I said even resting Maguire, we could do that. If we cannot play a Lindelof and a Bailly in a back four together against a Watford, then even Reams, oh God. If we can't play a Greenwood instead of a Rashford against Watford, if we can't play a Van der Beek instead of Bruno against Watford,
But
then
Nico,
we're in a real bad place, eh?
But Nico, that what we do against Istanbul, and if I honest with you, Istanbul Başakşehir could well and truly be a championship team in England. Eh?
No, but still you had to give them that respect because in the Champions League.
I understand what
They
I'm
need Champions
saying.
League, Watford in the Championship. So if even if you take that chance against Watford in the Championship and lose, well, of course, but you could take that chance, or you should be able to take that chance against them compared to a team in the Champions League who is more or less there on merit. But for us in the FA Cup because all teams have a chance to play in the FA Cup.
I hear you, but definitely for this Watford game, rotation is a must because we see any kind of impact the accumulation of games sometimes have on key players, and we had to be very, very careful with how we treat them with these players. I think Ollie had said in the post-match that leave it up to Bruno, and he play 490 every game.
Right.
But he has to manage that better. You understand what I'm saying? Because we saw today that Bruno was not 100%. Sinatra saying City Tottenham is a good final. Let's look ahead. To win the league will be amazing. After so long, that's our best shot at getting back into the Champions League next season. Europa have a lot of top teams too. I think the cup competition might be an easier shot than the league. So we know how it goes. So, Nico, I think we more or less cover everything that was a disappointing. Give me a closing thought, man.
Again, another disappointing semi-final game. That was the fourth semi-final, and the bounce that we were knocked out without reaching at least the penultimate goal of our final. Regardless of what would have happened in the final, I think crossing that semi-final hurdle would have been a big one. We tripped up again. Let's hope that, at least some point we could really get our confidence in the team, get our belief in the team, and maybe winning the Premier League might do that. Possibly to give us that belief. Yes, we know it's a far cry, but the challenges or the pressures to endure or to win a league, then that might develop. You might develop a lot from that, a lot of courage, a lot of belief, a lot of self-confidence from that to maybe help us to be able to, cross the hurdles of semi-finals and even when they get into finals, to even have that belief to win finals. So I think another disappointing result. But what we gonna do up Watford on the weekend and let's go again.
Yeah, I think something that you said just now there, and it made me remember the campaign when Leicester had won the league. They had gotten knocked out all the other tournaments. They get knocked out the Carabao Cup, they get knocked out the FA Cup. But they really ran through the Premiership. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Sinatra, we was laughing at Sinatra just now, but it's well and truly possible that the league might really be the one that we could use to really build that kind of belief in ourselves now.
Yeah, that might be the catalyst to future success.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't want to go and put all my eggs in one basket. Yeah. But at the same time, we could be unfair not to think that we have a shot when you consider how the league going so far, where we are. So, I think we just have to talk off myself, make what you say. The Carabao Cup behind me now. Yeah. We still have the FA Cup, we have the league, and we have the Europa League. And let me look at Saturday. So yeah. So guys, thanks very much for joining this evening. It's not the kind of review that would have wanted, considering how much we kind of expected to make it into the final this time around. But it wasn't to be. But we still have a lot to look forward to. So let's hope for the best come Saturday and beyond. Have
Yeah,
a
man.
good night, everybody.
All right, good night.